Hi, welcome to Freezer Meals 101. I'm Christy.
And I'm Charla. And today we're doing something a little different. We are making some seasoning blends that you can use as kind of recipe starters. So there are things like homemade hamburger helper seasoning and that kind of thing, so that they can help you to kind of create a whole meal. So we're not making whole meals today. We're just
making these. Growing up, I had never had hamburger helper. My mom was a cook that cooked real food. I don't know. We just didn't. We would occasionally have craft dinner. And I do recall there being shake and bake at my house. But
yeah, we had shake and bake too.
Yeah, I don't really remember. I think the first time I tried hamburger helper was in college when I was a broke college student, and I could do that. So then when I'm a mom, I'm thinking there's got to be a healthier way to do this, like without all those preservatives and stuff. And so we found one. We found one that's really good, and it's, you know, all the stuff that's in it. And you can use whatever you want of it. It's pretty good.
We're going to put a link right here to a video with some other homemade seasonings. And after we did that video, we actually had really good reception on that. We weren't sure how it would go because I know you come here for the freezer meals.
Hey, but you know what? We're not totally talking out of our you-know-whats, because probably shouldn't have said it like that, but you can freeze your spices. Did you know this?
Yes. Makes them last longer.
It does make them last longer. When they sit in a jar for ever and ever and ever, I probably have the same jar of marjoram I got in my it was a wedding gift, like a shower gift of seasonings, spices in a rack. And it's probably the same marjoram that is in the same container that I got when I got married 19 years ago. So,
you might not want to use
it's probably time to... I clearly don't use marjoram. No. I should probably take it out and put something in there that I actually use, like cinnamon or pumpkin spice or something. But you can freeze them to make them last a little bit longer. And these will also freeze nicely too.
And we're going to be using them in future freezer meals. So how awesome is that?
Yes. But I'm excited about it because one of them is your KFC seasoning mix, the 11 herbs and spices.
Delicious.
Yeah, and I haven't had a chance to try it yet. It's in the club, but I haven't made it. So we're going to try it out and show you guys.
Okay, let's get to the recipes.
The first one we're going to talk about today is the Hamburger Helper Seasoning Mix. This one is unique because really all you need is the beef and a little bit of pasta and some water. There are some variations on how you can do this after the fact, but let's start with the mix. We're going to start out with instant milk. This was a hot commodity during the pandemic. I remember that it was hard to find, and there's times in my life growing up we had it in the house. And we used it if we were out of milk. It was just kind of a nice backup to have when we were on the farm and couldn't get to town.
So it's a dry powder.
It's a dry powder, and you add water, and bam, you have, this is skim milk. There, you can also buy whole milk, and it's significantly more expensive. But I used skim milk for this one. We're also adding some cornstarch, some beef bouillon, and some dry onion flakes, dried thyme, some pepper, parsley, and garlic powder. We're going to mix these all together in a large bowl and transfer them into either a airtight container or a freezer meal bag, and you can put them in your freezer. When you use this, you want to use half a cup of this powder with a pound of ground beef, and then you can add 1.5 or 2 cups of pasta, depending on the kind of pasta you have, and then add 2 cups of water. You could make a chili mac with it if you wanted to add some chili powder and some diced tomatoes and stuff like that. Or you could even make a beef stroganoff version of this, and you want to add some egg noodles and some sour cream at the end. The other option you can do is, if you can't find instant milk in your area, or if you'd prefer not to use it, instead of using the 2 cups of water, you can just use 2 cups of milk, and then you can use skim or 2% or whole milk or whatever you want.
When I was growing up, one of the things that I remember helping my mom with in the kitchen is shaking the bag of the shake and bake, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it like you have these memories of being allowed. It's like such a coveted thing. My brother and I would fight for this role.
That's funny.
Being allowed to shake the bag of shake and bake chicken. And so this is a homemade version of shake and bake. The nice thing about homemade versions of any of these things is that you can customize, especially if you have allergies, which we're going to talk about in a second, with a few of these. And if you have like dietary concerns, or you're trying to just, know what is in your food. And like Christy was saying, for the hamburger helper, we used like the skim version of that dry milk. And so if you're, wanting to cut fat or whatever, that's one way that you can do it, because you actually know what's in these things. So just things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the shake and bake, you're gonna add 4 cups of dry breadcrumbs and a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil into a bowl and mix that up together. Then you're gonna add some salt, paprika. Normally you would add celery salt, but we omitted that because I'm allergic to celery, and that includes celery salt. So in these recipes, I'm able to customize them so that I can actually have these, because a lot of store-bought seasonings and spice blends I can't have. So this is a great way for me to be able to actually eat the food. And then some pepper, garlic salt, minced garlic, minced onion. Now for these we used dry versions of minced garlic and minced onion because you're wanting to create more of a dry mix here. Basil, parsley, and oregano. Once you've got that all mixed together, you're going to transfer it into an airtight container or a freezer bag, and you can store it in your freezer. Just like regular shake and bake that you buy in the box from the store, you're going to add some of this.
You forgot a very important step. You have to wet it. Wasn't that the weirdest thing about?
Oh, yes.
There's a debate about this. Do you wash your chicken? Like, it's a thing.
I don't wash my chicken.
I don't wash my chicken, but there are people that swear by washing your meat. But do you know what happens when you wash your meat? You just infect your entire sink with salmonella. So I don't wash my meat. I wash my hands, but I don't wash my meat.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole debate about it. So tell me below, because I know you will. I know you're dying to tell me that you wash your meat and there's nothing wrong with it. But, and there isn't. Go ahead and wash your meat.
If you wash your chicken, which I had never heard of until this moment. Really? I feel like I live under a rock. But if you wash your chicken, then tell us in the comments why you wash your chicken.
Why do you wash your chicken? Because your mother washed her chicken. Probably.
Why did she wash her chicken? Like, let's figure this out. So in the comments, let us know about the chicken.
So in the shake and bake original directions, it does say wet it and then put it in the bag and then shake it. Because being wet, it's going to stick better to the chicken. And then you put it on the tray to bake it. If you can do it without wetting your chicken, go ahead. If you want to maybe roll it in oil instead or something.
Just put a little bit of oil in the bag when you shook it on.
No, that's not going to make it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think
you gotta wet the chicken.
Because we already have the oil in the breadcrumbs. You gotta wet your chicken.
When we do ours, we should wet it with a spray bottle, because then we're not making anything gross.
Oh, I've just grossed you out now, haven't I?
I'm squeamish.
You can. The other thing, I have personally done this to try culinarize my shake and bake skills. I've done the egg wash before.
Right.
Where it's in an egg wash. And I mean, you don't have to do it in the sink. You can have a bowl of water and wet your chicken.
Okay.
Is that a reasonable compromise?
That's a reasonable compromise. It's a reasonable compromise. We'll either do the spray bottle. Tune in. Stay tuned, because in our mega session, which is coming up, I know everybody asks us about that.
When's your next mega session?
It's in the works. We'll stick a video up there to our last mega session where we made over 100 meals, and this one is going to be similar, and we're making lots of really
and we're going to make
stuff.
this shake and bake chicken.
Yeah.
And we'll show you what we decide to do.
We decide, whether it's the spray bottle or a bowl of water or whatever. I think the bottom line is Christy's going to end up doing it, because I don't want to touch it.
Totally true. I've already committed to the fact that I'm going to be the one that has to touch the chicken. It's okay.
I do touch chicken, but
and this is going to be interesting because we're using foros and drumsticks.
Yes.
Charlotte got a really good deal on frozen drumsticks.
Oh my goodness.
We're planning for it for next week, but she just saw the case lot sale and she's like, I'm buying the drumsticks now.
6.6 pounds of drumsticks.
So 3 kilos.
For $10.
So she bought 3.
Multiple bags, or multiple meals.
Multiple meals. And they're now in my freezer waiting to be made into something. And this is going to be one of them.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. So tune into that to see what we decided. But getting back to the shake and bake, you want to use 1 cup of the shake and bake mixture. Put it in there with your wet chicken, whether it's chicken drumsticks, or we're actually going to do both in our mega session. Just for
yes,
fun.
we are. And then I'm curious to see how it's going to freeze.
Yeah, I think it'll be beautiful.
I think it's going to be great.
I am wondering if we maybe need to freeze it flat.
So that
on
it's
a tray,
frozen to the chicken.
Yeah. And then put it in the bag.
This is, very scientific investigation here, folks. So glad that you could join along with us because we don't really know what we're doing.
This is how it works sometimes. Now you're getting a behind the scenes look at how some of these.
And we're just saying
we're
just saying you can freeze the shake and bake. We have never actually made the chicken and frozen it as shake and bake.
No, but we're going to be doing it.
It could fail badly, but we'll let you know.
This is our test kitchen.
This is our test kitchen right here. You're looking at it. Okay. So we're done. Oh, so when you cook it, you're gonna cook it for, if it's got the bone in, it has to be from like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Without any bone, you can 25 minutes in a 400-degree oven. You want to use your thermometer for that one, maybe.
Maybe. We won't cook them from frozen. We'll thaw it first.
We'll thaw it first.
But yeah, there you go. Shake and bake, homemade. Woo.
We're excited about it.
Our kids are getting a little older than I probably was when I was excited about shaking the bag, but I think some of them would still get excited to
and we know who they are.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, we do.
We know who's going to be excited to shake the bag.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. All right. Last but not least, we have our KFC seasoning mix. This one's in the club already, and I have never tried it, but Charlotte has done it many times, and I think it's going to be delicious. So there's always the secret 11 herbs and spices, and we're going to use 10 of them because this one also has celery salt.
So we're not using that 11.
So we're not going to use that one. So we're going to start out with our flour, and there's a lot here. There's 4.5 cups of flour here. We're going to add in our salt and thyme, basil, and oregano. We would add celery salt, but we're not. Some pepper, some mustard powder, and I wouldn't have thought of that one in here, but it's going to be great. Some paprika, quite a bit of paprika, 3 tablespoons. Some garlic salt, ground ginger, and white pepper. And this says to use about 1.5 cups of seasoning mix per 4 pieces of chicken. So we'll see how that actually shakes out, pardon the pun. But so we don't wet the chicken? How does this work? Because again, we're going to be using frozen chicken. No, if you're doing this at home and you're just using the mix and you just bought your...
I can't remember if we do an egg wash with that one or...
We'll have to look at the recipe.
It's in the club?
It's in the club. It's been a while since you made it.
Yeah. I don't remember.
We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, you can make your own seasoning mix. We've mentioned the club a few times, so we should tell you what it is. We should tell you who we are. So,
try that, yeah.
If you're new here, we're Charlotte and Christy, and I'm her neighbor. I live 2 doors down that way, and we just started doing freezer meals together a long time ago, and she's a blogger, and she's like, I'm just going to start blogging about the freezer meals, and then we started doing videos about the freezer meals, and then she made this club. And the club is awesome, because if you're thinking about doing freezer meals, you have to get all of your recipes together, and then you have to sit and say, okay, I need ground beef, and I need onions, and I need diced onions, but I also need sliced onions, and I'm gonna need minced onions, and I need more minced onions for this recipe. And it's a big undertaking of amalgamating these recipes to come up with a shopping list. So she's like, I think I could put something together like that. So she made this club, and it's awesome because you can create a meal plan and you can add the recipes to it, and it will automatically spit out this shopping list that you can take to the store with you, and it includes your prep list so that you can just come home and say, okay, I need 6 diced onions and 4 minced onions, and bang, you have all your prep ready. I don't know if you've ever done big jobs that you have to do the prep. The prep makes the job. It makes it very hard to do, and it's one at a time. But if you want to do a bunch of meals together, spend some time, do your prep, do the backlog, the work. But this kind of takes away that mental part for you. That's why it's so brilliant. That's why it's so smart. So then you're going to make your meals. And then the best part is we have labels. So you can print out your labels and stick them to your freezer meals and put them away in your freezer. And
cooking instructions included.
Cooking instructions included. Like every day, I don't have to think about what I'm going to make for supper that night because I can just take it out of my freezer.
Oh, it's the best.
I'm having beef hash tonight.
Oh,
I have one left and I'm so excited. It's
such
so
a
good.
classic
It's so
because we're doing the big mega session coming up.
We're like cleaning out our freezers.
We're like getting low on freezer meals, and so we're
I have
both,
so many
like,
soups left.
Using that shows that we shouldn't be making so many soups, or you guys just don't eat them very much.
We're not good soup eaters.
No, you're not.
No.
I think we've established biscuits
many
and
times
all the things, but
I'm
anyway,
not a good soup eater.
we like soup.
We like the soup. It's just like
It's soup.
I'm still hungry after.
But it's winter. And
Soups
so
are great for winter.
Soups are awesome for winter.
Yes.
Okay, we are going off a little bit, which we tend to do, I know. And I know if you've been here before, you know this isn't the first time. We get off track.
We do wander a bit.
But
we always bring it back because we care about freezer meals. So today we've got the shake and bake, the KFC seasoning mix, and the hamburger helper seasoning mix, which I'm pretty excited about that one because
maybe we should give that a try.
Well, we could add it in.
We'll see. Or we'll do it, I mean, we're going to do it soon.
We've already done the mix. It wouldn't take much.
It's easy peasy.
Totally.
So thank you for joining us today. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of an idea if you're wanting to save a bit of money and know what ingredients are in your food. You can make your own.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can click like, you can click subscribe, you can check out some of the links below for the awesome club we were telling you about. We have a great Facebook group. You should come and join us there, and we'll see you next time.
All the things.
I know.
Oh, we're going to put a video right there to another video about seasoning mixes. That one's got taco, Jamaican jerk, and shawarma. So that's a good one.
Yes. All right. See you next time.
Bye.